The Senate voted tonight to confirm Jeff Sessions as the new Attorney General after some heated debate.
And I'm live downtown where protesters have gathered following new developments in the North Dakota Access Pipeline. We'll have that coming up.
Hear how one Trojan alumnus is helping construction workers to rebuild their lives at the USC Village.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
The U.S. Senate confirmed Jeff Sessions just hours ago as the U.S. Attorney General. Good evening, I'm Kaylee Heck.
And I'm Rachel Ramos. The vote came after hours of bipartisan debate. Jeff Sessions is considered one of the most conservative lawmakers in the U.S. Senate. Democrats oppose the Alabama Republican over his record on civil rights and immigration, but he won confirmation late today.
The nomination is confirmed.
The 52-47 vote came after 30 hours of challenges from Democrats who opposed Sessions for the nation's chief lawyer. A Senate committee prevented Sessions from becoming a federal judge in 1986 because of accusations he is a racist. He has always denied those accusations.
An attempt to silence Senator Elizabeth Warren on the Senate floor backfired today when she became the #1 topic on Twitter. She was reading a letter yesterday written in 1986 by the widow of Martin Luther King Jr. about Jeff Sessions. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Warren violated Senate rules against criticizing another senator.
We may not have the votes to stop them, but we sure as heck need to make it clear to the Republicans and to the American people exactly who Donald Trump is putting in charge of our government.
Democrats challenged the punishment, but the GOP majority voted to uphold it. Warren was not allowed to speak on the floor for the rest of the debate on Sessions.
She broke those rules. She was advised in a very correct manner by the chair, and she persisted, and so really we had no choice but to enforce those.
Afterwards, Twitter blew up with the hashtags "She Persisted" and "Let Liz Speak," showing support for the Massachusetts senator. California's own Senator Kamala Harris took to social media saying, quote, "By silencing Warren, the GOP gave women around the world a rallying cry." And here's another actor, Rob Corddry. He said, quote, "Let it be said about my daughters one day. Nevertheless, she persisted." Several male senators went on to read the letter on the floor and were not stopped. Senator Warren did post a video on her Facebook page, reading the whole letter from Coretta Scott King.
The Army cleared the way today for the construction to resume on the Dakota Access Pipeline, and contractors say they'll start work right away. Right now, protesters are rallying outside the Army Corps of Engineers headquarters, and Jake Ingracia is live there now.
Hey guys, I'm standing here downtown on Wilshire Boulevard outside the Army Corps of Engineers building where protesters gathered. Moments ago, those protesters just mobilized down the street, taking a walk downtown, and those protesters are standing in solidarity and rallying here against the new developments this week in the North Dakota Access Pipeline. Those new developments, the Army Corps of Engineers granting an easement that's going to propel that project forward as early as today or tomorrow, we're hearing reports. Now, I'm here with Kim, who's a protester. And Kim, why are you out here today?
I'm here supporting the Lakota people of North Dakota to protect their land and their water. That's why I'm here today.
And Kim, why is this such an important issue right now following those new developments of the Army Corps granting that easement in North Dakota?
Because they want to rush the easement. They don't want to do the environmental impact. They just want to get right to the drilling, and it affects 15 million people's drinking water. So there's no reason to rush it, and I think that they should slow down, and I think that they should listen to the people who live on the land and do an environmental review.
Now, this protest moments ago, it just cleared out here. Everybody just took their signs and took their drums and headed on a march around downtown. But can you just describe the scene here for us that we just witnessed?
There's probably about 2,000 people. They're actually doing a round dance right there in the middle of the street. But it's peaceful, it's prayerful. They're drumming, they're singing, they're chanting.
All right, and Kim, thank you so much. Now, to take it back here live, we were following the reports moments ago from the Associated Press that easement is going to grant the permission to go ahead with that pipeline that's almost finished. But for now, I'm Jake Ingrassia, downtown Los Angeles for Annenberg Media.
Thank you, Jake. The Dalai Lama will be the keynote speaker at the UC San Diego graduation in June, and that has many Chinese students on campus very upset.
Annenberg Media's international reporter Alicia Wajaja is here now with more on that controversy.
Thanks, Kaylee. The Chinese Students and Scholars Association denounced the selection of the Nobel Peace Prize winner as their commencement speaker. On Facebook, the group posted it strongly objects to the behavior, to the spreading of inflammatory, politically offensive speech that belittles history. UCSD's official Facebook announcement had over 2,000 comments with mixed reactions. We spoke to Shi Hao-han, a UCSD International Affairs Master student, on Skype, who says he understands the controversy.
Making this decision on its own without publishing it in advance for people to get to know about it, at least, is extremely inappropriate.
The Dalai Lama has more than 84 awards, honorary doctorates, and prizes recognizing his message of peace. But the Chinese government views him as a dangerous political figure. The Dalai Lama tried negotiating for an independent Tibet, leading to a failed uprising. UCSD released this statement. The University of California, San Diego has always served as a forum for discussion on important public policy issues and respects the rights of individuals to disagree. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama promotes global responsibility and service to humanity. The Dalai Lama is scheduled to speak at the UCSD commencement June 17th. Kaylee and Rachel, back to you.
Thanks, Alicia. The Los Angeles City Council today agreed to pay $1.5 million to the family of Isel Ford. He was shot and killed by LAPD officers in 2014. The settlement comes only weeks after the district attorney's office announced the two officers who shot Ford in South LA would not face criminal charges. The DA says the officers acted in self-defense and in defense of others.
USC is a smoke-free campus, and that includes any buildings owned by the university. But as Annenberg Media's Mark Salinger shows us, not all students know about the month-old policy.
The signs are all around campus, but that hasn't stopped the smokers.
Oh, and I see people smoking all the time.
USC went smoke-free on January 10th when it implemented a no-smoking policy. It prohibits smoking on all university-owned and leased property.
I hate secondhand smoking. I think it's disgusting when I walk through a cloud of smoke when someone else is smoking.
Nearly a month after Provost Michael Quick signed off on the new policy, it wasn't hard for us to find smokers on campus.
Did you know that there was a no-smoking policy on campus?
I don't know that, I'm sorry.
You had no idea?
I have no idea.
We were the first to tell USC student Pin Chen Jin about the ban.
I don't know the policy. But I didn't see that. That's why I'm so confused right now.
Here across the street from campus, you're more than welcome to light up a cigarette. But once you get to the campus gates, you have to put it out.
Representatives from the Office of Environmental Health and Safety have begun handing out cards to educate students about the new rules and encouraging them to quit smoking.
A lot of students genuinely don't know that smoking is not allowed on campus.
Undergraduate Student Government Senator Daniel Newman co-authored the USG resolution to ban smoking. He acknowledges it could take a while for students to know about the policy.
The new freshmen that come in every year will be informed that smoking is banned from campus, and so within 4 years it'll just be a societal norm that smoking has no place at USC.
Changing the campus culture is the goal. It might just take a little bit of time.
It's not enforced at all, so it doesn't affect me.
For now, the Department of Public Safety and the Office of Environmental Health and Safety say they haven't received any complaints about the ban. For USC Annenberg Media, I'm Mark Salinger.
The Los Angeles County Department of Public Health released a report that highlights health differences between women of various ethnicities and poverty levels in 2017. The report found that Latinas are most likely to have less than a high school education. Black women have the highest poverty rates. Asian women reported having the most difficulty getting health treatment. And white women have the highest rates of depression and suicide. This is the fourth study LA County has done like this, and the first time discrimination, emotional well-being, and access to health coverage have been included in the survey.
A Trojan alumnus is helping USC invest in a special group of South LA students. Annenberg Media's Grace DeWitt shows us what some new graduates mean for the community.
It's graduation day for Rico Martin and his classmates.
once I got here to PV Jobs, it was just hands down. From the time I walked in, it was, the greet, the introduction, the whole 9 yards from, meeting Rock, who just explained it to me raw and uncut. Hey, look, man, we got this. You either want it or you don't.
Martin is one of the 17 students from PV Jobs' first construction training program, which helps at-risk men and women with job placement.
I've been on my dad's couch for the last 13 months, and I just started feeling sorry for myself, wondering why, asking a why question, and not really picking myself up, doing what I know how to do.
PV Jobs expanded beyond construction on Playa Vista to include local projects like Metro Light Rail and USC. Organizers say there's an added benefit for USC to be a good neighbor and employ local residents.
If USC wants to remain safe and all of its students want to remain safe, then the community around USC needs to remain safe. And then the people that I deal with have nothing to lose, so there'll be nothing for them to rob, rape, and steal. But if they do have something to lose, like a middle-class job opportunity with benefits where they can buy a house and send their kids to school, even possibly USC, then they might think twice before they rob, rape, and steal.
PV Jobs has placed at least 54 workers right here at the USC Village since the start of 2015, doing everything from carpentry to masonry to help make the village come to life.
If you want to be a good community partner, and trust me, I'm a Trojan. I was a student. I know how much they emphasize paying back to the community. This is an opportunity to put your money where your mouth is.
Thanks to PV Jobs, Martin is back on his feet and taking a step in the right direction. For Annenberg Media, I'm Grace DeWitt.
If you've seen the lines for In-N-Out at Tommy Trojan today, you probably know what's happening. Yes, USG voting is happening.
And the largest IKEA store in the world is now open. We'll see why so many of their customers prefer a store to shopping online.
And a new exhibit features costumes that could bring an Oscar to their designers. We'll take you there when we come back.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd. What are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our world.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
The rise of e-commerce has been the downfall for many brick-and-mortar retail stores. But Annenberg Media's Alex Salvi shows us IKEA is making the most of both worlds.
IKEA opened its largest store in the U.S. today in Burbank, less than a mile away from its old location. The new store stretches 7 football fields long and will provide 575 new jobs to the Burbank area.
I'm super excited. I've been with IKEA for 15 years, so this new store is beautiful. I love it.
The Swedish manufacturer had a record $34 billion in sales last year.
I think it's important to see it in person. I mean, that's why I'm just sitting on this couch right now, just feeling it out. I think when it comes to furniture and, big things like that, you got to shop in person.
I like to lay on the bed and see how I like that also.
However, its largest stride has been its 30% increase in online revenue over the past year, after being hesitant to make the transition. As other retailers have trended towards closing their physical locations, IKEA recognizes the importance of in-person shopping.
I think the way that IKEA looks at it, as the way a lot of successful businesses look at it, is they don't necessarily distinguish between this is our online customer and this is our in-store customer. If you are a customer of IKEA, you're probably going to be using both of those services.
Online profits have allowed IKEA to invest in the experience of the store, such as its popular dining areas and elaborate models.
I can get an idea of like how it's going to look on a model, or I can see people like in an advert look really happy and pleased with like a sofa or a shirt or whatever, but until I actually get a sense for it for myself, I'm not going to trust it.
IKEA and its customers alike see the importance of trying a product out before buying it. For Annenberg Media, I'm Alex Salvi.
More than 1,400 people have already voted in the USG election. It's been a race fraught with allegations of cheating and cronyism. But as Annenberg Media's Cole Sullivan reports, that drama doesn't seem to be impacting students' votes.
The promise of a free In-N-Out burger drove votes at the USG election today. But behind the double-double with fries, a war of words online between the tickets. The managers for the Rachel Rebecca and Million Vorhoff campaigns criticizing the 2-day social media suspension Austin Morgan received. They say it wasn't enough for starting their campaign too early. In our interview, Dunn said they respectfully served their punishment.
There was no excuses.
Then, last night, candidate Daniel Million resigned from his Senate seat, citing lack of diversity and inclusion in USG. But despite all that news, most of the students I talked to said it didn't impact their decision that much. And a lot of them were here today for one thing, a burger.
I saw the free In-N-Out, so thought I might as well do my civic duty.
You can always get a vote by offering a good burger.
Honestly, yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. Love In-N-Out.
Either way, In-N-Out says they served 500 burgers, and that means 500 more votes in the USG elections. For Annenberg Media, I'm Cole Sullivan.
To cast a vote in the elections, head to one of 5 locations: Tommy Trojan, Levy Library, the PE Building, McCarthy Quad, or Parkside Residence Hall. Voters can also learn more about the candidates and cast their ballot online by visiting the USG Facebook page. Voting ends tomorrow night. Now, Rachel, it was an absolutely beautiful day outside.
Yes, it was, and I personally am excited about that beach weather. Well, let's hear more about our forecast from our weather anchor, Madeline.
Thank you so much, guys. Good evening, Los Angeles. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies tonight. Temperatures outside right now are hovering right around 64 degrees. It's very comfortable out. Tomorrow, we can expect to see sunny skies throughout the region. If you're planning to head up to the mountains, you are looking at 70 degrees up in Big Bear, so make sure you get that skiing in while you still can. Thinking of heading to the coast? Well, you might want to. In Malibu, temperatures looking right around 65 degrees. A little bit chilly still for a swim, but definitely heating up. And in our neighborhood, we are looking at a beautiful 73 degrees, just what we have been waiting for. But don't put the umbrella away just yet. We've got a high chance of rain coming up for you on Friday. It won't last long, though. Into the next week, we're holding on to those mid-60s, lower 70s, so pretty much standard as to what we've been seeing. Unfortunately, our neighbors on the opposite coast aren't quite so lucky. A series of tornadoes swept through the deep south yesterday, hitting hardest in areas including New Orleans East. According to the AP, at least 40 people were injured in the area, and several homes and buildings were destroyed. Governor John Bell Edwards declared a state of emergency, and the National Guard is on the ground helping clear debris. The National Weather Service declared the tornado the strongest to hit Orleans Parish since records began in 1950. Some of the homes damaged were ones that previously had been rebuilt after Katrina, but New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu has hope the community will come through strong.
The people of New Orleans and the people of Louisiana are resilient and tough. We've been through many things together, and we'll get through this one as we always have, with prayers and with hard work and lifting each other up.
The storms marched east, causing chaos in the rest of the state as well as in others. In Calhoun County, Florida, one man died from a falling tree. It's just awful, but everyone's on the ground helping clean up.
Yeah, hopefully those cleanup efforts won't take too long so these people can get back into their homes.
And aren't we so lucky to live in Southern California where we don't have to deal with tornadoes? Thank you so much, Madeline. Well, Oscar season is right around the corner and the festivities are already getting started. At the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising downtown, a new exhibition just opened on the costumes your favorite movie characters wear. This year's exhibit features more than 100 costumes from 24 films.
Well, there's definitely big news coming out from our football team already.
Yes, and some exciting news on the hardwood as well. Well, let's turn to our sports anchor, Julia Adams.
Thanks, Kaylee and Rachel. When we come back, I will tell you about a Rose Bowl hero who is now suspended from the team. Then, we'll hear from players as the USC men's basketball team returns to home court.
And Julia will be joining me to break down USC's Saturday night matchup with the visiting Oregon Ducks.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
French fries. Finding best potatoes.
No!
Russet. Fingerling. Congo.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school and in life. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to ATVN. The Trojan who kicked USC into a Rose Bowl victory last month, Matt Bormeister, has been suspended indefinitely from the team amid an investigation of a code of conduct issue. The school issued a statement on Bormeister stating, while this student code of conduct issue is being investigated, the student will not be representing the university as a member of the athletic team. In his first year as a starter, Bormeister connected on 18 of 25 field goal attempts and 53 of 54 extra point attempts. USC men's basketball is playing Oregon State Thursday night following a successful 4-game winning streak on the road. Although the Beavers have the worst record in the Pac-12, the Trojans know they still need to play strong Thursday night as every game is important for future tournament seeding.
It's really important because, first of all, we can't lose any games at home. Either protect your home court, either the last in the Pac-12, they still can come here and beat us, and that would drop us to like 7th or 8th and put us out. So it's a really important game. These games are like trap games. Like, you have to win the ones that you're supposed to win, and we move on to Oregon on Saturday.
All eyes will be on the Pac-12 this Saturday when USC takes on Oregon and attempts to avenge a 23-point loss early in the season. Sports correspondent Angel Vizcarra is joining me now to preview the game.
Great to be here.
All right, Angel, let's talk about the dominating force that is Oregon basketball. They're ranked number 5 nationally, and they're also on an 18 consecutive game winning streak. It's crazy numbers. Let's look at some dangerous Ducks to look out for on Saturday. My personal pick is Dylan Brooks. He's, again, averaging 14.4 for the team this season, and I think he's the real standout offensively.
Yeah, when you talk about Oregon, you've got to bring up a guy like Brooks. Hit the big shot that got them into national talks when they beat UCLA. The team high scorer, he's going to do a lot against Trojans and cause a lot of problems for them this weekend. Then we look to some of the other guys who are really big impact makers for them. Like you said, you don't go on an 18-game winning streak without other stars. Tyler Dorsey, an LA guy out of Maranatha High, he's a big scorer for them, provides a lot of athleticism for their backcourt. And then a guy like Chris Boucher, he's their big man out of Canada. He's really the rim rattler for this Oregon Ducks team.
Exactly. Will be interesting to see how this plays out. Yeah. But I'm also interested in learning. Let's take a look at some keys to beating Oregon on Saturday. So personally, I believe the home court advantage is really important. I think if we look at UCLA's game, we had so much energy in the crowd. The Trojans were really fired up being at the game and feeding off of the energy and really rose to that. And I think that will definitely be an advantage for them in the Oregon game.
Yeah, in a big primetime game at the Galen Center, it's really hard to beat down a Trojan team when they're at the Galen Center. USC's in the game anytime they're playing at home. We've seen that on multiple occasions this year. And we look at some of the other tips we mentioned. Getting off to a quick start against Oregon. All they've done this year is get up to big leads and then tighten up in the second half of ball games. USC is going to need to get to a quick start before Oregon can really establish that defense.
In addition, now that Benny Boatwright is back, he hopefully will start off strong on offense on Saturday. He's been strong, although just coming back after a 2-month pause. So I think it's definitely good that we have him back now. So definitely we'll keep out for his performance on offense.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Angel, I think we can agree this game will certainly be the starlight for USC sport on Saturday night. As for Saturday afternoon, USC Women's Lacrosse has their 2017 season opener against St. Mary's College at home. The number 4 ranked women of Troy are the defending MPSF regular season and tournament champions.
From the beginning of this program, it's always been about getting better, and that's what we want to continue to do, both our players individually, but the team collectively. And I think it's just exciting to start on Saturday to see where we are and then continue to get better from there. But honestly, the rankings, they're nice, but they're for everybody else to be excited about and for us to just focus on ourselves.
The last time these two teams played, USC dominated St. Mary's 20-3. The women of Troy will look to replicate that performance Saturday to kick off the program's 5th season.
Over the past week, USC players have been raking in the postseason awards since leading the Trojans to a Rose Bowl trophy. Today, we take a look at the land of Troy through the lens of social media on Trojan trophies. All right, first we got a picture here of the Darnold family with Helton heading into a private jet, doing it big as they go collect the Archie Griffin MVP trophy that Sam obviously won. What I respect here is Sam's a Rose Bowl MVP, but he's still in the White Sox and Vans gang. And then here we go to a guy, Dory Jackson, went to Oklahoma to pick up his Thorpe Award, dressed in definite Oklahoma attire and the cowboy gear. Safe to say that Darnold will continue to stuff his trophy case for the remainder of his time here as a Trojan. As for Dory, farewell, our dear friend. That's it for trophies. Back to the desk.
Well, it's great to see these Trojans finally be rewarded for their past season. It's also so funny to see Odori in that hat. I absolutely love it.
Thanks so much, Julia. Bill Nye, the science guy, is back and going to save the world.
We'll show you where you can see him up next.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Rachel Ramos.
And I'm Kaylee Heck. Good night.